There we go.
Nope.
Going live.
Yep. There we go. Hey.
Yes,
Hey, everyone.
Yes. We are live. Welcome, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Yes. We are live.
Someone hasn't muted their stream.
I have. Now I have. So thanks, everyone. Welcome to today's AMA. I'm sorry it took us a little bit of time, but yeah, as you know, all good things take time. So yeah, that's why we were a little bit later than expected. My name is Martijn. I am a community and customer care manager at StormX, and with us we have Matt, CMO at StormX, on my left, I think. Yes, we have Alex, CPO, under me, and in the other corner we have Simon, our CEO. Today we're going to answer some of your questions. Yeah, you guys brought that in through Discord. Awesome, thanks for that. If you're not in our Discord, by the way, I'm sure Sean will share a link any moment, so you guys can join the Discord. Yeah, let's not waste too much time and start with the first question directly. First one comes from Crip Duns. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly. What is the benefit of using a separate token for governance versus just using StormX?
Yeah, so I can start with this one. So first, welcome, and excited to have you guys on board. Yeah, and I think one of the big updates that we have is that we are trying to launch a governance token. And if you guys haven't voted yet, you can check out the vote at governance.stormx.io. And the reason that we're trying to launch a governance token primarily is because we are trying to decentralize our project as much as we can. There's been lots of great concerns, including our memberships too expensive, which cryptocurrencies could we add, which stores could we do more benefits. There's a lot of great stuff that we could do that we could actually let the community decide on, what we think is the better decision, because there's pros and cons for things that we can make, but ultimately we're trying to build a product for our users. So when we did do the first governance vote, which was for the token swap reopening, most of it did pass, which is a great sign, but there was definitely a vulnerability that we saw, which could be gamed just because you didn't need much in order to just be able to create an infinite amount of accounts and create bots and try to manipulate the system that way. So if it was something very important, someone with a lot of time or resources could go in there and sway the vote pretty heavily. And so that's why we wanted to launch the governance token, where we're rewarding people that have used the app, interacted with the StormX community, our rewards members, and lots of other different ways to just be able to receive it just for free. We're not selling any governance token. We're not trying to, do another ICO or anything like that. It's just purely to reward the users that have been interacting with the product the most, and allowing them to have more of a say in our product. It's also a great way for users to receive a fourth layer of cashback. As you guys probably know, we have the traditional cashback, we have the crypto cashback, and we have staking rewards right now. And through the governance token, we can also launch a fourth way to earn, which puts us significantly better than Rakuten or Honey or some of the other cashbacks in the world, which are pretty awesome. And I think Alex had some other points that he'd like to bring up as well. So
yeah, the two main points. One is it's a separation of concerns, which is an engineering standard. Like, we want the StormX token just to be used for memberships and the governance token just to be used for voting. And technically, there's a lot of advantages of having a separate token. Our first StormX token is basically hard-coded, meaning like the way that it's programmed is the way it will always be set. And that makes it really stable. And then for our governance token, we're adding in a piece of functionality that allows for us to upgrade how the token works over time. And the reason we want it to be flexible is, as the community helps us figure out the best way to do governance, how to do voting weights, other requirements to do governance, we can make changes to the token on the community's behalf and make it much more useful and much more fair. And so those are the two main reasons we want to keep the tokens separate.
Awesome, thanks. So let's stick in the government, the governance questions for now. We had a lot of governance questions. So next one, is governance more about StormX, the company, deciding on their own how much of their profits will be allocated to the STMX token, and then the vote determines how those profits get divided up amongst holders? Or is governance about STMX holders voting what portion of StormX, the company, profits will be allocated to the token?
Yeah, the governance token isn't really necessarily about profit sharing or profit holding. That gets very questionable in terms of a regulatory concern. But outside of that, the governance token is really allowing the users to make product decisions. And so a lot of questions are on like roadmap and stuff like that, and different features that we can implement. It really is to try to get our users to try to sway which products are our biggest priority, because if you think about it, we have a very limited time, limited bandwidth, but there's 50 things that we could always build each day, and it's about trying to set like, okay, which one should we set priority, but this is what the users want, and it's there's always pros and cons for each decision again, and it's going back to that and allowing our users to have more say, and giving our power users the most control.
Awesome, great. Okay, nothing to add, Matt or Alex?
No, I think Simon summed it up pretty well there.
Awesome, great. So next question, again, a governance question. This one is from Lucas Bradley. No company would or should give away the power for crucial decision making to customers. Given this, how does the governance token not just become an illusion of community control, and what are the assurances that votes aren't simply controlled by a majority of internal owners?
Yeah, I can start with that. So the path to governance is a long one and full of learning. It's still really new in this space. There's lots of projects trying out different things, and we don't expect to have all the answers right off the bat. And we're going to experiment and learn with everyone, and both from other projects and what our community feels. The way that we don't kind of try and bite off too much from the start is we're going to be submitting proposals from the core team, so that it's not like 50 proposals are being submitted every day and they're all kind of random proposals. Like, we're going to bring forward things that the community is signaling in Discord, Twitter, Telegram, and our concerns that we need help with making a decision on. For sure, there's product decisions that we can make decisions on by ourselves, because we have the best perspective, we have the most data, figuring out what the market is doing in terms of cashback shopping and what our users are doing. But there's for sure proposals, like Simon mentioned before, like what tokens we want to add to our platform, shopping, like what shops we should be focusing on, and some product decisions that maybe we have some data on to help us help guide us on what we should do, but we need some more input from the community. And this is a much more formalized way to do that. That is also like Sybil resistant. Sybil resistance is the term in crypto to describe what Simon was mentioning. Somebody just creates a bunch of accounts, adds a bunch of wallets, and they have a much larger voting weight. So I think that about sums up that question.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, Lucas, to your point, yeah, the whole reason we're trying to do it this way with the token split as well too is we don't want a very centralized party or just large whales to be able to make all the decisions, which if we were to launch governance on the StormX token right now, it's just whoever has the most money or would be able to sway a lot of decision making. But in this case, we would be able to airdrop to people that have actually used the product and have engaged. Like if you're a rewards member, if you've shopped and other ways, that it's not just how many tokens that you own, but have you actually used the product, and have you actually engage with it to the point that, okay, this is what I'd like to see as a product user, and this is what I like to see to make sure StormX continues thriving and actually have a stakeholder outside of just, I have a lot of money, and so this is what I'm going to do to try to make more money for myself, kind of thing.
Yeah, good point. Great. So I think this is already partially answered, but nonetheless, I'm going to ask it. How is the proposed token going to be deployed? As a separate purchasable token or through current StormX holders on the app? So it's like a voting chip. So it's the second, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we won't
exactly.
be selling anything. It'll be airdropped to users.
Yeah.
If you're not a rewards member, I highly suggest that you sign up to be a rewards member. It's because you do get awesome benefits, and yeah, it's just you want to sign up to be a rewards member. So.
Cool.
Yeah. And then just to be a little more clear, so this will be another ERC20 token that'll be on Ethereum mainnet. Yeah, and it'll be going to power users, people that actually use our platform.
Cool. Hey, Matt,
Hey.
is there any Trailblazer NFT coming, and any chance we can buy Trailblazer gear or tickets to StormX?
Cool. In regards to the NFT, that's probably not something we're looking at the moment. We did help the Trailblazers with a bit of consulting when it came to the game day poster series. Outside of that, we haven't quite nailed anything down on that just yet. But in regards to jerseys, yeah, you can bet they'll be making sure that there is an option there for people to receive crypto cashback on the jerseys. Tickets, a little bit more complicated, but we're definitely looking into a way to make sure that all of the StormX users can head down to Portland and catch a game and get some crypto cashback at the same time.
Awesome.
So still working on it, but definitely for the jerseys for sure.
Great. Apologies from Deport, this one. I love the project and want to be behind you guys 100%, but I just can't deal with the super high gas fees, not to mention the transfer fee from Voyager Exchange. I really do want to up my membership, but I'm being held back. I'm fairly new to the cryptoverse, but could Cardano be with any help of this? Alex, think?
Yeah, so we've talked to several different layer one projects in the past and side chains. And now that L2s are coming more online, we'll chat more with them. But we're always exploring how we can lower gas fees. That is like the problem for Ethereum right now. And that's why you're seeing all these solutions pop up. With that said, they're all still very new. And in terms of going to a different chain, even though some of these projects do solve gas fees by being able to do higher transactions per second and some other things, they don't have great wallet experiences, and there's not a lot of other additional tooling built on those layer ones yet. So like if we're trying to reach mass retail and we're to be on some other project, they wouldn't have the same onboarding experience you can get as Ethereum.
Yeah,
and so it's as enticing as it is to go to another chain because of just for gas. It's still not the best move right now, but we're always talking to other projects, and as soon as it makes sense, we're open to switching. And definitely L2s and side chains that are coming will be ready to use really soon.
Cool, thanks. Next question from Silverboy. Are there currently any plans to address the waiting times for cashback? While return policy times need to be accounted for, 3 months can be a long time to wait for said cashback and can be extremely off-putting to the majority of people, especially if they start off with small amounts.
Yeah, and that's and with the traditional cashback industry, it's whether it's Rakuten or Honey or some other platforms, it's generally 90 days. Just because you have to wait until the return policy is over before you can actually claim your cash back. So people don't just try to return it, game the system, and just try to get an infinite amount of cash back, for example. But that's where, StormX is actually one of the fastest ways that you can earn your cash back if you've tried some of the other platforms, if you're a rewards member. So you can speed that up, by 50% or 75%, depending on what tier you are, and getting that access a lot faster. And to your point, I do understand that, for a first-time user, this might be kind of an annoying experience because you probably don't have StormX tokens in the beginning. However, if you try Rakuten or Honey, it'll be a lot longer than even our, product, and we are definitely expediting it as much as possible. And you just have to think of it as you're just earning free cash that you just kind of forgot about, and just having that sent to you every quarter or so. And I think if you use Rakuten, it's like a once a quarter payment that you get in PayPal or check. But we definitely try to do that a lot sooner. So for us, like, you don't need to wait an entire 3 months before you can withdraw. As soon as the balance is in your account, you can withdraw it once a week, which is much faster.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think we're the only ones who are trying to innovate on getting faster cashback rewards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, only one so far, definitely.
And definitely reward members do get more. So definitely something to think about.
Hey, Matt, another question. Do we have any plans for a commercial TV marketing campaign?
Yeah, funny that's been mentioned. Yeah, we're currently looking into, currently in the process of finalizing some of the details around getting something filmed with a very, very close shoot date involving perhaps some sporting athletes that can be used across digital and perhaps TV. We'll see where we go, but definitely digital first. If we feel the need to go down to a TV spot, that's definitely feasible. But yeah, definitely happening. Keep your eyes peeled.
Cool.
We got something fun planned right now.
Yeah, I'm trying not to give away too much. I want to say everything, but I can't.
You can. No. Okay, we don't. Simon, has StormX prepared for the next bear market if one arrives?
Yeah. So you guys could probably see that we did some fundraising in the last few months or so. We raised about 15 million. And yeah, that's exactly to prepare us in case another bear market happens, but also to allow us to expand. Over the last few months, we've been very busy internally, just scaling up the team, making sure our software runs faster, our processes are better, and we've been spending a lot of resources on infrastructure. But we definitely are prepared for a bear market because as someone, I've been personally building in this space for like 6+ years, and it's not just the 2018 bear market. We've gone through multiple bear markets, and it happens. People lose interest, crypto prices drop considerably, but do you have enough funds to keep going? In our case, we do. So we're definitely prepared for the worst and making sure that we can thrive, and regardless of what environment we're in.
Great, awesome. Next one. Are there any plans in the app to allow users to submit which stores in the country they would like to see be added to the list of cashback stores? This could be a good stopgap until regionalized market hires can be done, and would give your team a good idea of what stores are popular with STMX users in each country.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about having an in-app feature for that.
Yeah,
we don't have plans to do it, immediately, but we do listen on Discord and Telegram and Twitter.
Yeah.
And we do have a running list that Martijn and Sean and the team manage, and we do go through that list, and we do count, people who are bringing it up. So that does become a prioritized list for us, and we do reach out to those stores on our platforms. But eventually, we'll want to have a more scalable way to do that. So doing something in app, potentially with a governance token, would be a really good way for us to really prioritize what users want.
Yeah, agreed.
I think another thing to say on that as well is that we're actively growing the team, especially around our sales and account managers, and this is something that's going to be a massive focus for them, is to ensure that we have the shops that people want to shop at in other regions. North America right now definitely has a bit of an upper hand, but that doesn't mean we haven't forgotten about everyone else who's using the app. We're actively constantly looking as to how we can add relevant stores in those areas. So if you have not actually already added something to the sheet, feel free to. I'm sure Sean could share it in the chat. But yeah, we'll aim to add as many as we can for people's local regions. We want you to be able to shop and receive crypto cashback, and we know to do that, we have to put the shops there for you to use them. So always looking to continue growing those for you guys.
Yeah. Question for you, Alex, from Max McIntyre. Will the debit card charge foreign transaction fees? I think it's for you, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we are waiving some of the fees for the card right now. If we hear that the community is very concerned about foreign transaction fees, we could potentially do something about that too, for higher tiered members. So if that is something that the community thinks is important to focus on first versus some other fees, like definitely please talk about it in Discord, talk to Sean and Martine. And if there's enough consensus around, we're going to be traveling a lot, really worried about foreign transaction fees, then that's something we can look into further.
Cool.
Yeah, and we do have an awesome update on the debit card. So I know the biggest bottleneck for us has been waiting for legal and compliance, and we are pretty excited to announce that that part is approved. So the hardest part is now past us. The only thing that we're waiting on right now is our partners have a new cashback solution that just hasn't even launched yet. That's going to be pretty attractive, and we're trying to build the interface behind that, which takes a while given that the product actually hasn't launched yet. So should be pretty interesting. We're waiting for a very good reason. I know a lot of people are anxious about the debit card release, but again, like our goal with the debit card launch isn't just to try to launch a debit card just like everyone else. We're actually trying to launch a debit card that's more beneficial than all the other cards out there, with better cashback, better user experience, and it does take time and effort for that. But we've made a lot of very solid progress, and we're excited to be able to launch this soon. So
Yeah, and I think on the back of that, if you thought you had a lot of crypto cashback options before, you're in for a treat.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I think some of the people that especially follow me or my account, I hate banks just because banks aren't necessarily evil, but it's just the profit margins could easily be shared to the consumers as much as possible. But they choose to make the shareholders rich instead of the actual users, which I prefer to make your users happy rather than shareholders, and then everything comes into pieces. So we'll try to really make this attractive, and it should be. If you haven't signed up for the wait list, it might be full. So be sure to sign up for the wait list, and make sure you're on top of that as well.
Cool. So now we're talking about debit card. Another question. This one is from StormX Pays My Bills. Will the debit card be usable everywhere, and will it be backed by Visa, and will there be a fiat cashback rate on usage?
Yeah, so the plan is to have it used everywhere. It will be definitely backed by one of the two major debit card providers available. And at that point, the world is your oyster. If you can go into a shop and transact at point of sale, you should be able to do that perfectly fine with the StormX debit card.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this, just because user experience is one of the worst in crypto, onboarding and offboarding. And with this, if you have StormX tokens, you can just go anywhere and just be able to spend it, and you can earn it through applications. You can get cash back, and it's this whole economy without really having to interact with an exchange at all. You can just interact with our products and build this ecosystem around.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So make your grandmas be able to use this. It's exciting.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, we'll the card will launch in the US to start, and the next phase is the EU, and that's another project to work on next. But we're on one of the major payment processor networks. We can't officially say who it is, right, Simon?
We cannot say.
Once it launches, yeah.
Yeah.
Once it launches.
But everyone knows the name, and they're the major processor. So yes, you'll be able to take your card that you get here in the US and go anywhere that this network is available, which is everywhere.
Awesome, guys.
Yeah, it will be a name that everyone recognizes and has seen multiple times in their lifetimes. Countless, everywhere you go.
Okay, next question, guys. Next question. Simon, What's one thing you want for StormX that you currently don't have?
One thing that I want, I mean, outside of 100 million users on our platform, I mean, I think going back to the whole ETH gas station, I mean, not the gas station, yeah, ETH gas fee issue. Right now, it is definitely hard for a lot of people to become rewards members just because it is really expensive. I mean, I think several other, exchange integrations and stuff like that and wallet integration would help in making sure that we can get that more easier. But necessarily, it just takes time to, get more partnerships and integrations involved. But for us to just make this as accessible as possible, so anyone could just jump in without having to pay, like $50 or $100 gas fees to be a rewards member, for example. So I think we're almost there. Maybe a few months out, hopefully, but hopefully the transaction fee issues for crypto go away soon. So
yeah. Hey, a question from Midget Sumo. Was there some kind of a deal signed with the CEO of Voyager at Daytona? There was no update.
No official deal, but we had spent a lot of time together, not just dinner, but we spent like the entire day together. They want to make something happen. We want to make something happen. I think they've been pretty busy with their token swap recently and launching that platform. And we are setting up some meetings to discuss how we could, more integrate the Voyager and StormX community. Because again, going back to the whole, gas price issue too, is if people don't have to leave Voyager and if they could automatically be rewards members and earn staking, that would be the best experience.
Win-win.
Then it would be off chain and it'd be win for both parties. So we definitely want to make it happen, and they do, and so it's exciting.
Awesome. How much does using the app for purchases help the team onboard new shopping partners? Good question.
100%. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? The more volume we're putting through, the more new retailers are happy to consider us. The two go pretty much hand in hand. So yeah, that's a no-brainer. But yeah, good question either way. But it's a massive decision-making point for retailers. They want to make sure that they're receiving volume. But on the plus side, we've got the one advantage of being able to expose them to a massive new audience they may otherwise not have had an option to garner. Yeah. So that's thanks to you guys as well.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, in the last 3 months too, we've had so many brands reaching out to us to see if they can be added on our platform. Not just with the Blazers news too, but a lot of users are using our platform now, and as we continue growing this, we'll be able to add more and more top-level retail stores, which only help, make this even more user-friendly for all our people. And again, with the debit card stuff too, is we're trying to cover a lot of stores that we can't cover right now in our current platform. But using this to do a lot more offline stores, like restaurants and gas stations and things like that, outside of just the e-commerce stores, for example.
Yeah, and I think I can say as well, sure I speak for the team when I say this, that it's a great feeling when stores come to us and eager to get on our platform. And again, that's just testament to you guys.
Yeah, I completely agree. Will a new roadmap be issued for upcoming projects? The last roadmap on the block ended in the second quarter of 2021. It'd be nice to know whether the focus is on new projects, growth in utility, scaling the utility to other parts of the world, or both.
Yes, we will definitely update the roadmap. I know that's taking some time. The main reason for that is our banking partner and payment processor partner. They took a long time, so it really pushed back our deadline. And we're a little not the best at communicating at times, because it's a pretty closed and secretive system. Like, they don't want to give out too much details. So we will update the roadmap with projects that are coming up. Absolutely.
Cool. A question from Kai94. What % cashback crypto back would we receive from using the debit card? Would it be different from retailer to retailer, or one set percentage for all debit card purchases in stores not on the app?
Yeah, so it'll be dynamic. So just like on the shop tab, when you see stores with different cashback percentages, it'll work similar to that. We have a new partner that's handling those specific stores that work with the debit card. And so that's part of our integration work we're starting to work on. And yeah, there'll be different types of cashback offers as well. Some will be flat, some will be activation type offers, which is something that isn't common, but some stores prefer doing, so that it shows like user intent that they're actually gonna do something with the offer. And I think that's it for that question.
Yeah. So one from Farhan One. How is StormX better than other fiat cashback companies such as Top Cashback? Well, I think we already answered that, right, Simon?
Yeah. So again, we're trying to make the rewards, the cashback percentages, the highest as possible. I mean, I think when people look for the debit card, it's not nothing else matters except like what percent cashback that you get. So again, there's two things. One is trying to give as much margins back to our consumers, and then two is if you have StormX tokens, similarly to our rewards membership for our app, the higher membership you are, you'll be able to get much higher cashback and better rewards.
Cool. Another one from Max. Will you issue a 1099 if we have to use a StormX? If we have to use a StormX token to make purchases using the debit card? Alex, I think you are. This is one for you.
So you will for the rewards that you earn. So whether the rewards are just from shopping in the mobile app or the extension or the debit card, if those rewards amount to over about $600 and you're in the US a year, you will get a 1099 from us. And yeah, so that's something that we is annoying, but we have to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Are we going to address the tier requirements with the exposure StormX is getting and the recent massive pump to price? The tiers are soon going to be extremely unreachable to the common person and may end up making StormX a less attractive project. I'd recommend either lowering the tiers or adding extra tiers in between.
I think this all kind of comes back down to governance, really. This is one of the main reasons we're doing this. So when we have situations like this, we can propose things like this. So in terms of, are we open to it? Yes, definitely. Will it happen straight away? That remains to be seen. But we are definitely very much aware of the difficulty there may be, depending on the time of year and depending on price volatility, getting in an entry point to having a membership. But yeah, we can definitely address this, and I'm sure Simon and Alex as well probably have some points on that.
Yeah, and it's the order is the governance token should launch first, and then allow our power users to make votes on what those benefits should look like. Because obviously there are pros and cons right now, right? So I mean, at the current tier, 6.2 million is for the diamond membership, which could be expensive for newcomers to join in, but then for the old people that are in the system, like they might not need the access token. So what are they going to do with that? But that's up to the community to decide, right? So what's for the best for how StormX grows? It's not us as a centralized company to be able to make that decision, but it's the community that gets to decide on how we should make these decisions. And to your point, yes, I think adding some tier levels are a really great idea. We've explored that in the past, especially as the debit card comes out. There's more utility for being a rewards member. So if anything, for me, what makes most sense is the rewards membership being sort of exclusive. So it's sort of like the American Express Black Card, where you have a bunch of celebrities and Fortune 500 people that own it, and it's very selective. And it's similar to the StormX card itself too. So you get all the great tiers of just like the base level or some of the lower tiers, but for the most exclusive one, it's probably going to be a little bit more expensive. But again, it's not. That's just it's just my line of thinking, and we can send out some proposals. But again, it's the community to decide based on the pros and cons, which are just great.
Yeah, awesome. I found a good question in the chat that I'm going to take. From Oliver Camplin, would I be able to set up direct deposits with my job for the debit card?
So when the debit card launches, we won't be able to do that, but eventually we will be able to, and we'll be able to enable a checking account. So you could use it just like any other checking account you've ever used, and you could, have, your money from work go there or anything else like that.
Cool. Great answer. Will I be able to make? Will I be able to make recurring payments with a debit card? Can I earn cashback on things such as my iPhone bill, gym membership, etc., etc.?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If you can treat it like a normal debit card, you can do it with ours.
Awesome. Are there any plans to add a news or latest update section in the app or browser plugin so that users can get an extra idea of the latest features, stores to hit the app, as well as the latest development and market news for StormX? From Bonage.
We've talked about it. We don't have any plans to do it immediately, but I think the best source of news right now for us, would you say it's Twitter, Matt Martine?
Yeah, I'd say Twitter's a great place to keep up to date with news, but also just being part of the community on Discord and also just keeping up to date with our blog.
Blogs we are doing also.
Yeah, and we do send out a newsletter every 2 weeks that kind of digests everything from the last 2 weeks. So if you're not already subscribed to that, if you have an account, you're welcome to subscribe. Otherwise, you can subscribe via the blog.
Yep, and Discord and Telegram, as Matt stated, the community. Yeah. I only have 1 or 2 more, I think, guys. Yeah. Will I be able? No, that's already one I discussed. I'm going to take a couple of the. The chat now. I think we had all questions, Matt. Yes, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have, and I think as well, wary of time here. Maybe we can get 1 or 2, maybe 3 in from the community.
Yeah.
That's talking now. So.
Yeah.
I see someone there that just says we need the champion gray unicorn sweater. It's coming back. It's coming back.
I got one right here.
It will come back.
Flex it, Simon. Flex it.
Yeah, we get asked this question a lot. It'll be back on the store shortly. Until then, you just got to admire the one Simon's wearing now.
Awesome. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
I think something else to mention. I know Matt, Simon, Martine, y'all are going to be in person at a conference coming up eventually, and there's like a community event going on.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Cool. I'll jump into on this one. So we will be at Token 2049 in London on the 7th and 8th of October. But that also gives us an opportunity to host our first community meetup, which will be in London. So I'm totally cool with that. So we'll be running that in London on the 9th of October. So if anyone's in London or UK based and wants to come join and have a drink and talk to us about StormX, about the debit card, about governance, or just talk to us in general, feel free to come by. There is a tweet out at the moment. I'll get another one sent out shortly just to remind people how to sign up. There's a waiting list at the moment, but we will be releasing a second batch of tickets already. The first ones went straight away. But it'd be good to meet you all in person, so come on through.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I in the meantime, I got some questions from the chat. Is it possible to add a search function to the app to pull up stores where you can purchase an item?
Sorry, ik begrijp het niet.
That's my Siri. I'm sorry. Yeah, she just responded.
She's very angry.
Yeah, it's too late for her.
I don't think Josh, but I think she said I want cashback.
No, she's telling me to shut up now. You've talked enough. So, is it possible to add a function to the app to pull up stores where you can purchase an item? So, for example, shoes, Adidas, Macy's pull up.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the most natural way to search. And if you're going to buy something, you're thinking about like those 9.5 Converse shoes. You're not thinking about what exact store or brand that you want to shop at. So that's some search functionality we definitely want to build in, and we have talked about and done some research into how we can do it. And it's not super straightforward. We're going to have to because we want to make it as normal as what a person would normally do. They get onto Google, they search for what they want. So we want to make it somewhat a similar experience. That won't be done soon because it's going to require a good amount of work, but that is absolutely what we're going to do.
Yeah, it's great feedback. Yeah, if you could compare every store on, how much like a certain shoe costs and how much cashback you would get, and be able to calculate what the best deal is, for sure. It's a great idea. It's something that we definitely would love to integrate.
Yep.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are asking when marketing, and we have our head of marketing here too. But Matt and I have been really busy signing up a lot of deals, especially on the partnership agreements. We have some spokespeople. We have a commercial, like we mentioned too. Like there's a lot that's going to happen. And again, sort of the timing is the debit card is going to launch hopefully very soon, and the Blazers season is going to happen end of October. And I think you'll start seeing a blast of a bunch of StormX everywhere, where you won't be able to you just see StormX too much. Maybe you'll get a little bit sick of it, but that's a good thing.
But at least you saw it first before everyone else did.
And if you're sick,
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're sick, you need to shop from home. So that's also great.
Yeah.
Too late. Okay.
I think we've probably got enough time for maybe one or two more questions.
Yeah, I think I have one or two or two more. Yeah. What is the benefit of being partnered with the Blazers, and will we see more partnerships like this, Matt?
What's the benefit? I mean, for one, we went with the Blazers because they were a crypto forward team. Simply put, they understood what we were doing. They understood the future of crypto, and they understand that they want to be part of that as much as we want to be part of sponsoring them. And that's kind of how it came about. So off the back of that, what's the benefit? For one, obviously, we get a bit more exposure there to, let's say, the normies, the muggles, as this tends to be the term we use these days. But it's a mass market, and that's an opportunity that we get to monopolize on and talk about how, from a StormX perspective, we're a super easy way for people to get into crypto. On top of that as well, it's just cool to see our logo on a jersey, right? But there's so many more other reasons behind it that we can monopolize on, and it's not a short partnership. We're with them for another 4 years after this. There's a lot of growing to go there between both of us and from the Trailblazers. And as to other partnerships, which you thought I was going to skip over, definitely looking at other stuff. But whether it fits right, where it makes sense for StormX and for whoever the other partner may be.
Okay, last one. If we could shed a bit of light on how the partnership with the Trailblazers came to pass. Did we have a contact or whatever? Or do you even want to speak about it, Matt?
I'll let Simon take that one, actually. Simon's the one that got the intro.
Yeah, we were, and it's actually interesting because, we were speaking with the NBA teams, well before, we found out even FTX was doing that arena deal, and these types of deals take a long time, and Blazers happened to reach out to us while we were talking to some of the other teams, but it was very clear that they actually cared about what we were doing, and it was a very family-oriented kind of thing, and they really wanted to support us in our long-term vision, and as Matt mentioned too, they're very crypto-focused, and some of the other teams, it could be kind of a cash grab deal where, hey, we'll sign up whoever gives us the most money kind of thing, but the Blazers was very organic, so we ended up choosing them. But yeah, it was a long time planning process, and it was the first of many. Is definitely what I'd probably say, because our goal is to try to get to mass adoption and as many eyeballs as possible, and there are some really interesting things that we've already come across, and we're starting to get stuff executed. So
yeah, for sure. If you guys want to put your speculative partnerships you think we're going to do into the chat, one of us will blink at some point if we see the right one.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think that's it, guys, for this AMA. Thanks everyone. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching, for being there, asking us a lot of questions also in Discord. We really appreciate it. And
and for everyone who we will probably run into in London, look forward to meeting you guys then, and see you guys on Discord.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye, everyone.
everyone.
Thanks,
See you
guys.
guys.